You currently locked in to the coldest podcast in the land. It's your boy, B. Jones, a.k.a. Bolo. And what's Bolo to come up to the porch without my dog?
What's going on, y'all? It's your main man, Big Smitty, a.k.a. D Nice. And you heard Bolo just said, he just said it. This is the Porch. Welcome. We are back, man. Another day, another dollar that God has blessed us with. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Bolo, how you doing, brother?
Yes, sir. Love the energy, my bro. Hey, man, blessed, highly favored, man. Can't get on the porch, y'all, unless we talk about God first, man. So all praise due to the Most High. I'm blessed, brother. How you doing?
Hey, man, same here, man. You know, always a good day when I could be here on the porch. And we've been, hey, not to pat ourselves on the back, but we've been popping a little bit lately, bro. We like last few episodes, man. Shout out to Holly Cotton, you know, our last guest. We had a great discussion with her the entire really show, but I saw one of our clips, man, about she explaining why she won't get married again or why she might not get married again. Some people was on her side, some people didn't like what she had to say, man. But hey, that's the porch, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like disagreement sometimes. It's all good, you feel me?
Don't shoot the messenger though, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We giving out the game, you know what I'm saying? Y'all receiving it. How y'all receive it is how y'all receive it. All right. So we just letting that be known.
Yes, sir, man, for sure, man. And shout out to Maya as well. She just had a birthday. Happy belated birthday to Maya.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw, Bolo, on Caffeine, the Maya episode got over 300,000 plays, bro. 300,000 on that episode.
Won't he do it?
Come on.
Rolling. Hey, back in the day, Wiz used to be so cold, y'all. I fuck with Wiz still, y'all, but in college, Wiz used to be that nigga. Like, I don't know why I just thought about Wiz right now.
Real random right there. Like that, but that was some Wiz type energy right there.
It was though. Hell yeah, Taylor gang.
Black and yellow.
Hey, cold with it though.
Yeah. You know what it is. But nah, man, we back here again, another episode, man. And gotta shout out Bet Online, man, because hey, it's the best time of the year. You got NFL, NBA starting up. You got the MLB playoffs, man. Everything sports-wise is popping right now. And the best website, the best place to place your bets, all your gambling, sports gambling needs is Bet Online. Use the promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, BELIEVE, to get your promo welcome bonus. But Bolo, man, listen, we got so much to talk about, man. I actually want to start off in the sports world first before we kind of tap into some of the culture and some of these other topics that we got on the docket.
Let's do it.
Basketball, man. I mentioned basketball is returning. NBA season is right around the corner. I've been watching preseason games. I've been finally starting to get back in my basketball zone. I've been so one-track minded with football that's been kind of hard to think about basketball, but so much has happened this offseason, man. So many different changes, and obviously one of the biggest changes is Dame Dolla getting traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. Man, teaming up with Giannis over there on the East. To me, man, that has to be the team to beat. I just feel like it's the perfect pair. You know, it's kind of that Kobe and Shaq type of situation. Not saying they're as great as Kobe and Shaq, not at all, but in terms of style, you know what I mean? Giannis is a guy who's physical. Even though he dribbles the ball up and down court, he's a big man. He's going to get to the paint. He's going to force double teams, which will open up Dame and other shooters around him for wide open shots, wide open threes. And I just think it's going to be an easy transition for them to like really mesh together and figure out that you know, that alignment. You know, I'd probably say about 15, I say 20 games for them like really get comfortable with each other. Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna take too long because like it's different between like a team like the Suns, right? Where you got Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, all shooters, all killers, right? But Dame and Giannis can like play off each other a lot easier, Bolo.
It's a good balance, man. So I'm excited, and it's funny too because obviously the last couple of years we've seen Giannis be real vocal about winning more championships and
last few months,
like literally getting into, you know, an organization that is on the same page with him about winning. Like that's all he's about now. So he's like, if I'm not on the same page with the organization, like I got to move around, right? So I got to make things happen. So I think they did do a good job by putting a seasoned guard in there that'll complement his game pretty well. I think Dame Dolla is definitely a flexible ball player where obviously he can dribble the ball, he can shoot, he can get to the basket, and obviously Giannis can do a lot of things too. Both of those guys are not one dimensional. So I mean, you know, if somebody's lacking in the area, I think somebody else will be able to pick it up, and they got a good supporting cast around them too. So, I mean, obviously the East has always been, you know, in my opinion, for lack of better words, up for grabs in certain instances where the West is always real strong. So just to see that roster in the East, I mean, it's going to be hard to contend with that. And obviously I can just see them, not to put the cart before the horse, but going deep into the playoffs because they have those guys. So let's just pray for them guys being healthy, you know, to endure, you know, a long season. We know how long the season gets and injuries come out of nowhere. But if they are, you know, obviously managing to stay healthy throughout the season, I mean, it's going to be dangerous, man. Well, I mean, we'll finally get somebody to probably stop the Joker.
Yeah, man. We'll see, man. But there is another team out there on the East that
Uh-oh.
probably want them to pump their brakes a little bit on all the hype. It's the Boston Celtics. So the Bucks did lose a key player, and that's Drew Holiday, a guy who's an all-star guard. He's not as good as Dame as an overall player. I get that, but he is the best on-ball defender in the NBA. As any NBA player right now, they'll tell you that. He's a guy who can score, give you about 16, 17 points a game, and he's on the Boston Celtics. Not only him, but they got Kristaps Porzingis, a guy who's basically 7 foot, can stretch the floor. Last year, I think he averaged about 19 points, about 7, 8 boards, give or take. The only problem with Porzingis is his injury history. But if that man can stay healthy, I've been watching him a little bit in the preseason, Bolo, and he's looking good. He's looking good. He's looking healthy. He's looking stronger. So now you already got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum as your main stars. Drew Holiday to replace that loss of Marcus Smart. And you got Kristaps Porzingis, a guy who can add length on the defensive side and stretch the floor as a scorer. I think the Celtics got better as well. And that's another very experienced team. So to me, the East is right as of right now, before we watch any games, is between the Celtics and the Bucks. I don't want to discredit the Heat because every single time I do it,
they're gonna play. They're gonna
somehow
play basketball.
Jimmy Butler and he get them boys ready to go.
They're gonna play basketball.
They're gonna play basketball. So that's probably my top 3 teams right there as of right now today. But Celtics, Heat.
Hey, I agree with you. The thing with the Celtics though, bro, I think we all know from a talent piece, from historically speaking, I think they'll always get to a point where, you know, they'll win games. They'll get, you know, maybe to the Eastern Conference Finals. But bro, they cannot finish. Like they cannot finish. Like historically, like I've just seen Tatum and Brown have on and off games. I've never seen them complete a full series where they totally dominated. Obviously they're great players. Brown, crazy contract he's in right now, you know, so obviously the organization is bought into both of those players. But I just want to see them really like take over and like literally own, you know, the situations that they've been put in. Because obviously we can see last year, you know, sometimes there was games where Brown was a no-show. There was games where Tatum would have, you know, 12 points, you know, and then there would be times where he put up a 30-piece, right? But the consistency where we want to turn these guys into like elite superstars is like what I'm looking for this year in order for them to get to the next point. So
I agree with that for sure, man. Like obviously, I mean, they've been to one NBA Finals. Obviously, they lost against the Warriors a couple years ago. They get to the Eastern Conference Finals like damn near every year, it feels like, which is great. Like that's great. But at some point, it's like, when are you going to finish? Otherwise, it's like, should we just break the team up? But obviously, they're not trying to go that route because they just paid Jaylen Brown that crazy ass contract. So it's like, at some point they got to get over the hump, and we just got to see it, like you said. And maybe this might be the year. You know, we shall see, man.
That's a fact. Let's talk about the West real quick. Let's talk about a little bit about the West. It's a lot going on in the West too, man. I want to touch on the Memphis Grizzlies real quick. I've been seeing a picture float around. Obviously, they got Derrick Rose over there. You know, obviously he's one of my goats. Chicago native there, and you know, he's said to be mentoring your boy Ja. And I think it's been good for him. Obviously, Ja is on a suspension right now, but I think throughout practice and things like that, and maybe good habits they're creating on and off the court, is going to allow Ja to be a really good basketball player. Obviously, Derrick Rose is at a point now where he's not at the, you know, the tip top, you know, athletic Derrick Rose, but, you know, his mentality now and you know, some of the things that he's brought to the game over the course of 10 plus years is going to help Ja out a lot. And I think we're going to see a totally different Grizzlies basketball team because of it.
Man, I agree with you 1000%. I'm glad you brought it up. Derrick Rose, to me, is the perfect fit for the Grizzlies and Ja Morant. This is a guy who, at his peak, very similar playing style. Even, to me, even more explosive than what Ja is, which sounds crazy, but go watch that old tape of Derrick Rose, man. D-Rose Chicago
MVP Derrick Rose?
Crazy, bro. Crazy. And not only is he an NBA legend, in my eye, he's a hood legend. He's a guy who actually from it. actually from a tough environment, from the city, from the streets, from an area where like he made it out. And we look at him as we were growing up as high schoolers and middle school, stuff like that, as like an idol, right? Because somebody who made it from a similar area and environment that you from, or even from you from Chicago, so like literally the same exact city. And we see this guy be so great and win an MVP over LeBron and win the playoff series, and to see his greatness, I just think, man, everybody in the NBA world respects him. The fact that he's still playing after all these bad injuries and still a good role player at this point in his career is incredible. And I think he'll be a perfect role model for Ja Morant. I don't think he even got to say much. I just think Ja, out of respect for the game, out of respect for D Rose, and understanding that this team has a chance to really go out there and possibly win a championship, something that D Rose has not done yet in his career.
He need one.
Ja knows, like,
his
I don't want to mess that up.
Yeah.
Time is ticking. I don't want to mess that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there's certain people that, like, whether it's a coach, it's a player, it's a teammate, you got so much respect for them that it's bigger than you. Like, I don't want to mess this up for them. You know what I'm saying? And I think having D Rose there is going to be huge. And they got Marcus Smart, great leader, guy who will snatch you up.
Another gritty player.
Defensive guy, defensive player of the year, can still drop 15. The Grizzlies look good, bro. If they can just stay, if Ja can just stay out of trouble, you know what I mean? They can be really good, bro.
Dangerous, man.
Really dangerous, bro. But it's not just the Grizzlies out there in the West. I brought up the Suns,
It's a lot going on, man.
The Suns, I mean, on paper, what the fuck are we doing? We got Bradley Beal,
like a fucking all-star team.
Transformers, bro. Like, what the hell? Like,
but I want to see how they gonna manage the floor, though. Mm-hmm. Like, how can you manage the floor with all of those top-heavy guards? Like, the Suns are very top-heavy right now. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, they still got some key. They still got Aiden, right?
Nah, I think Aiden got traded, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see the pickups real quick.
Super top heavy then.
Yeah, they made a few pickups though. This offseason, but nevertheless, they're definitely top heavy, and that's gonna be the biggest concern, to just kind of see like what they gonna do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we saw Booker and KD last year together for like what, 20 games, maybe not even that. Makes it second round, ended up, losing against the eventual champs, the Denver Nuggets. But Book and KD overall looked pretty good. It just felt like they needed something else. If Bradley Beal can kind of take that, that third tier role and be able to take that back seat, I think, I think they can really make something happen. You know what I'm saying? So
he ain't gonna have a choice over a Book and KD.
Right.
So
Aiden is with the Blazers now. So with that Dame trade, it was like a 3-team trade. Dame went to the Bucks. Drew Holiday might have went to the I think Drew Holiday originally got traded to the Blazers, and then it was real temporary, and then he got moved to the Celtics, and then the Suns got somebody. It was a whole situation. So yeah, Aiden is now on the Blazers right now. So yeah, I knew I wasn't sure. I just couldn't remember exactly what it was. So I know the Suns picked up Bo. You know what I mean? I like Bo. Okogie got re-signed or whatever. Like, they got some cap, but they're definitely super top heavy though. So
yeah, man. So I'm gonna be curious to see how they're gonna manage it, because Bradley Beal's the type of player too, where he's been coming from a situation where even in his early days, he was playing with John Wall, where he had to figure out how to get his too with a player like John Wall.
Yep.
So you add two dynamic, basketball players in Booker and Durant to the floor. I mean, it's only one basketball on the floor, y'all. So
yeah, I think Bill just want to win though, bro. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah,
at this point in his career,
motherfuckers getting old, man.
Yeah, all of them getting old. Damn,
motherfuckers old.
Book's still kind of young, but KD getting up there. Bill getting up there. Bill ain't got no ring. I know he want a ring, bro. He been on a bad team for a long ass time, bro. Long time. Guy. So
yep, absolutely.
And then last team in the West, before we move on, bro, I gotta show love to my Lakers, bro. They might have the best all around offseason, bro. And it wasn't a lot of big name guys. There's a lot of guys that's gonna just add depth and add just like a culture to the team, man. Signed Gabe Vincent, who we saw ball out in the playoffs for the Heat.
Yep.
Cam Reddish, a 3-point shooter. Jackson Hayes at center, who now, with him at center, AD can really play that 4 spot that that he really wants to, because he don't like playing the 5 spot a lot. Resign D'Angelo Russell.
Yep.
Torian Prince, who's a 3-and-D guy, go out there and lock you down, knock down some open threes. Christian Wood, another stretch 4 guy who can dribble, shoot the mid range. And you playing with a LeBron, man, he creates so much just attention that he opens. If you're a good shooter, playing with LeBron is a perfect teammate. Like he gonna make you a contract player where you're gonna make big time money. So as long as AD can stay healthy, and it's always a big if, as long as LeBron can stay healthy as he's getting his old age, the Lakers will be a top seed, man. They will be a real deal top seed.
I agree. I mean, I feel like like you said, at the end of the day, when you talking to somebody like LeBron, ain't too many times he gonna leave a season without something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So last year it happened. Obviously he coming back. Yeah. He want to get it. He want to get it back in blood now. So I think he definitely is on the mission. I'm giving Bron y'all 3 years. And he gonna call it quits. Obviously, we got this the Olympics coming up, the 2024 Olympics.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be on that roster. I think he's gonna obviously play this season, play the Olympics. Maybe that'll transition him into the next season. Then he'll be done, y'all. He get another gold medal. I think that'll be a wrap for him.
So you saying really 2 more seasons then, technically then?
2 more seasons. So he'll have this season, and then he'll have the 2024 season. Well, obviously this season, 2023, 2024, it'll roll over into the season. But yes, the Olympics of 2024, right? And then he'll probably play in 25.
And then he'll be a wrap.
I think it'll be a wrap. Because by that time, he'll have a good idea where Bronny is, in his search of, playing at the next level.
Yeah. And his health condition too, God forbid.
And his health condition, because obviously he's dedicating the season to Bronny this year too. So we'll see, bro.
It's gonna be hey, just even talk about it right now, bro, is kind of bringing that.
But hey, but this is something I was telling a lot of people about though. Like, I'm not a big basketball fan, but I enjoy watching the game and watching certain players. But like, since it's so much craziness happening in the NBA league right now, it's kind of like they washing away football right now, bro.
You think so?
I feel like the conversations and the way things have been going, like, football is literally kind of almost taking a back seat to basketball, and people are really anxiously awaiting the basketball season. And I'm like, don't wish away the fall, y'all. We still got a lot of football left to play.
See, you know me, I live in like a little bit of a different world right now at Fox Sports, bro. That's football is king. Boom. All we do is football. On the weekends, I'm watching all the college games. I'm watching all the NFL games. I gotta be ready to post certain things based upon the game. So like in my world, it's all football. But I have seen the last like week or so, because NBA had their media day where all the teams taking the pictures, all that. I'm starting to see like more and more of it heat up. And obviously, you back in the city, you back in Indiana, bro. Indiana at the core, it's a basketball state.
It's a basketball state.
Facts. Yeah, like football has grown a lot, but it's still at the core, I say, it's a basketball state. So I get it. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Nah, I love it, man. I love it. Can't wait to hear from our Porch family, to hear what their takes are on that, man. But moving on to another sports topic, man. Caleb Williams, man. So really throughout the year, whether it's coming from him or his daddy or his camp, or whoever, has kind of thrown out a few like notes and hints that, hey, man, like if the wrong team gets the #1 overall pick, I might just come back to USC for another year, get paid, few million for my NIL deal, and then wait until there's a certain team that I want to go to the following year. You as a coach, Bolo, coaching guys who are, going D1 and stuff like that, and just the whole landscape of NIL, bro, being a former player yourself, what's your take on that, bro? Like, what's your overall view on just players almost having the power and leverage and dictating where they go and when they go? Yeah. If you would ask me this probably 3 or 4 years ago, like, I would say, like, man, this is amazing. Like, this is the greatest thing to come, especially for athletes, because now in a way athletes hold the power, or at least athletes have the ability to have the conversation now. As opposed to back in the day, it's like, if you're a first pick, like, you don't give a fuck who you going to. You're the first pick, right? So now obviously you have this great Heisman winning quarterback who's on pace to probably be another 2-time winning Heisman winner. Obviously, he'll probably more than likely he'll be a finalist. But now for him to kind of speak like into the future already, saying that like, hey, like if I don't go to, the Cowboys, or if I don't play for, all these specific teams, then I probably will sit back and wait just and collect my NIL money. Like, I mean, where do they do that at now? Like, where can you just literally decline the potential to really be the first pick in the NFL draft and stay in college? You know what I'm saying? So I think it all does come back to the NIL deal, because
a lot of the times people who are, like let's think about Bryce Young, like he made $38 million last year. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about Caleb, like I don't know how much he's making, but if Bryce Young made 38 million, you know what I'm saying? He was a Heisman Trophy guy. This guy's a Heisman Trophy guy. He's probably making that or even more than what Bryce
Now,
Young
the question
makes.
is real, not to cut you off, is that, so I be seeing a lot of these numbers, bro, online of players making this much, NIL this much.
Hey, man.
38 million sound real high. Or I think I saw that too, Bolo. I'm like 30. I'm like 30 million, 30, like 5 million, 70 million. I be wondering like who coming up with these, because like if you making 50 million like in a year as a college player, then shit, I probably would. I damn near probably would stay if it's gonna be that high.
I think so. Right here, it says that Caleb Williams, obviously surfacing for another significant financial beneficiary of the NIL world, is estimated to make 2.6 million. So he'll make 2.6 million, ideally this year, in NIL related ventures throughout this year. So all of the deals and things coming in, 2.6 million. So obviously, it's not bad, but I'm like, shit. I mean,
and it could be a little more, give or take. It could be closer to 4. It could be, those numbers never 100% accurate, whatever. But the conversation too, Bo, because like a lot of times, like at Fox, they be talking about this like on the show sometimes or even behind the scenes, and it's a good point that like I think Joy has made, where you might make more money if you stayed at USC like next year compared to what you would make your rookie year,
right?
But as a quarterback, we know that the goal is to get to that first major deal. So the quicker you can get to the NFL and get done with that rookie, that 4-year rookie contract, the quicker you're gonna get to making $200 million or whatever. So like long term, you're actually like losing, like in a sense, losing money in a sense. Like you're missing out on money by staying longer in college. Because like if you look at it short term, it's like, I might make more money this 1 year. But nah, get to NFL quick, because the quicker you get to it, the quicker you're gonna get to like generational wealth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, now this is where I play devil's advocate, because like I just hate how money has controlled a lot of situations in athletes' like thought process and stuff. But at the same time, when I think about a Bryce Young, when I think about a Justin Fields, right, who have been put in horrible situations that, for whatever reason, I'm not calling them, and I will never say that they aren't great quarterbacks, because I think situations that they have been placed in, they have to work with what's around them and what they're dealing with. Obviously, it'll take time, but I mean, they're not throwing no money at Justin Fields. This is his 3rd year. He hasn't really shown anything, but the organization hasn't really given him anything to work with either. So you can't really pay somebody if he's not producing results, even if he's fucking starting 10 steps behind everybody else. If he's not producing, he's not gonna make the money that he's looking to make. The same with Bryce Young too. So I understand what Caleb is doing, but it's like at the end of the day, bro, teams are literally probably trying to tank to try to get a quarterback like yourself. So you're gonna have to fall into a pit and climb yourself out. Either way it goes, you know what I'm saying? Unless somebody literally throws everything but the house at another team to be able to climb up to the first pick to get you.
Right. Because like the thing is, okay, let's say you go back to USC and then you get drafted next year. It's gonna be a shitty team. The shittiest team get the #1 overall pick. So you're not going in a good situation. That's how it works. Now the argument to that is like, okay, just because a team had a bad year doesn't mean it's a bad organization, so because things happen. Like, Peyton Manning got hurt 1 year, so we had like a 2-14 season, and then we had the #1 overall pick. The coach is still a good team, good organization. We had a bad year because of injury. So I get it. Sometimes there's situations, stuff like that happens where a good organization can get a top pick. But typically, it's just a bad team or a bad organization is one of the top picks. So if you're going to be as great as everybody's saying you are, and I watch you play, bro, and in college, you are amazing. The skill set is at a very high level, something we probably very rarely have seen. So they're saying you're like the top prospect ever. You got to show that. You got to go to your shitty organization and uplift them. Joe Burrow went to the Bengals and took to a damn Super Bowl.
He did.
So what's up, Caleb? You can't back down from no smoke. If you really like that, be like that. It's not gonna be easy.
I need to see. I love Caleb Williams. I think he is literally like the Stephen Curry of college football right now. Just the way he has changed the game, the way he throws the ball. Obviously, we've seen Pat Mahomes do the same thing, but I think Caleb is a little bit more elusive, a little bit more loose with his throwing
and he's
and
doing it
everything.
earlier. Mahomes was good in college, but Mahomes wasn't like, we didn't know Mahomes was going to be this good at all. We watched Caleb's further ahead right now than when Mahomes was at that same level.
1,000%. But I want to see Caleb play against the SEC. I want to see Caleb be able to go against just them down south, just literally man to man, like they rushing 6 or 7. Like, I want to see what that looks like, because I think when you think about the game of football, especially from the defense perspective, the positions that are continuing to be great is the defensive end position. When you talk about Michael Parsons, you talk about the J.J. Watts, like you talk about the elitists of these guys coming off the edge, getting ready to fucking knock your face off, right? Like, how are you going to match up against, the Jalen Carters of the world and the Eagles defense and stuff like that? Like the Pac-12, like obviously full of nothing but athletes, but those are usually like higher scoring leagues that they play in. Like that conference is just literally high scoring leagues. Like it's meant to be in spread, 10 personnel, throw the ball down the field, and it's just back and forth, more of an offensive type of game. So I'm curious to see what literally like a gritty game looks like for Caleb Williams when people are in his face.
No, that's a good point, bro. That's a good point. And I mean, you bring up the SEC, and it's kind of a separate topic. I didn't even know we was gonna go here, but it came to my mind. There's been some arguments and some debates, I would say, about this particular season, which ironically is the last season of the Pac-12. They're about to blow it all up.
Yeah,
a lot of people say that the Pac-12 this season is the best conference in football. Do you agree to that? Because when you look at it from top to bottom, bro, the Pac-12 down there popping right now, bro.
Washington,
you think about
Oregon State,
Washington,
Colorado, USC,
Oregon State, UCLA, Utah, fucking obviously SC. You know what I'm saying? Like they got a lot of good teams. And you look at the SEC. Obviously got the top dog. They top heavy. Georgia, Bama. Then like LSU's cool. They solid this year. They good. They're not like scary. They good though. Texas A&M. Good, you know what I'm saying? But
bro, maybe I'm biased, bro, but I really think though, you put an Auburn in that category, bro. Obviously a mid-level SEC team currently, right? I think they compete and they're at the top end of the Pac-12. If you throw an Auburn or like a major SEC team into the Pac-12, I think they compete.
See, but I think I'm not saying you wrong. I'm not gonna say that. But I think we so hypnotized by what the SEC has been for so long that we just automatically think no matter what we see, SEC just the top dog. Because I saw Auburn play a damn cow and beat them 14-10. Like barely got over the hump. I've seen some of these big time organizations, big time teams play other teams, other conferences, and either take a L or it was a close ass, like barely got over the top type of win. So like that's my only thing. I'm like, I mean. Texas beat Alabama this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen these other teams where it's like, I don't know, man. Like, are they really like that? And then obviously, we're talking about the top. Again, SEC is top heavy. What about Vandy? What about Kentucky? What about all these other schools at the bottom SEC that we never talk about? Like, when you talk about a full conference, we just worry about the top teams?
Kentucky's of the world and shit. Like,
Kentucky's actually kind of cool this year. They cool.
Yeah, and they're cool. No, I'm thinking about the mid to upper SEC teams that I think will go and compete. But to your point, though, there are 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the Pac-12 now who have been mentioned as obviously Heisman candidates. So
Michael Penix, Caleb Williams, Cam Ward, Bo Nix.
Yeah,
so they got the best quarterbacks though for sure.
Yeah,
I can be real on that.
That alone, I know they'll score. They'll score. But maybe I'm just stuck in my old ways. But like SEC, like defense though, I'm still heavy on like the defensive side of the game. Like, and I will want to always see what those matchups like a Georgia defense. You know what I'm saying? Even like an LSU defense, man. Like SEC kind of prides themselves just kind of playing very physical, you know what I'm saying? And the Pac-12 is literally just kind of like a fast break football type of mentality over there. So
for the most part, especially SC defense is horrible. Without Caleb Williams, they might be like 1 and whatever.
And, I mean, I love Deion and them, but Deion and them give up a lot of points too. You know?
Oh, yeah. For sure. There's a couple, like Utah has a really good defense, and like that's the one Pac-12 team that has a really good to great defense. The only reason why they lost even one game, I think their quarterback has been hurt, and they defense has been winning them games while he's been recovering. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but overall, you are right though. Like the defense is like Oregon defense is solid. Like they play physical. They play physical.
They do. They sure do.
But you are right. When it comes to defense, Pac-12, like those teams don't really, historically play that physical stuff. We'll see. Next year, bro.
We'll see it. You got 12 teams.
We got 12, but not only that, these teams are moving. SC is going to what? The Big Ten. Texas is going to the SEC, I think. Yep. Like Oregon's moving. Like, so we're gonna see a lot of these what you want to see. So
we're gonna see it, bro. We're gonna see, man. I'm very curious to see how the USC will play, in the Big Ten against a lot of these teams, a lot of different types of offenses, man. Yeah. I think for whatever reason, a lot of offenses kind of like mesh in specific conferences. They kind of look the same. So to see a high flying team to come into like a Big Ten and play your Nebraskas and, to play your Iowas and shit like that, like those are totally different types of games. Like
Michigan, hard-nosed, physical.
You know what I mean?
Run the ball, yeah.
We'll see, bro. It'll be interesting, though. I'll be excited to see how that pans out.
Nah, me too, man. I'm excited for the rest of this season, too, to see how it pans out. You never know what's going to happen. And before we move on, I know you're a big Ohio State fan. I like Ohio State, too. But Michigan is rolling.
Michigan rolling. O State rolling, too, y'all.
Yeah, but Michigan rolling.
People aren't, yeah, exactly. That's a perfect way to put it. Like, Michigan is rolling. O State is rolling, like meaning that like they're undefeated. They got out a couple tough battles, but it's just like we kind of see where the kind of deficiencies are on that team, and obviously Penn State too. Penn State and Michigan, those are going to be some big games for Ohio State to make it out of. So, and as much as I've been an O State fan, man, Penn State's been looking pretty fucking good too. So
shout out to James Franklin, man, doing his damn thing over there, head coach, doing his damn thing, bro.
So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Only time will tell.
Nah, I can't wait, bro. I can't wait, man. But moving on from the sports world, man, we can talk about sports all damn day, man. Let's kind of dive into some culture, man. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. I'm sure you did. It was trending everywhere about a week or so ago. Club Shay, shout out to Shannon Sharp, man, had Brittany Renner on his podcast the other day. Had asked her, I can't remember what question he asked her specifically, but she responded basically talking about the number of bodies that she's had, sexual partners she's had during her life or whatever. And she said she had 35 bodies. Shannon Sharp, he spit up his drink. He almost fell out the chair and everything. And the whole social media world kind of went crazy with it, hearing mixed feelings, mixed opinions on it. I got to throw it to you first, Bolo fans. And 35 bodies. I mean, what we talking about here? Is it a problem?
Bodies at 30. I mean, I feel like we all adults, right? So I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. You know what I'm saying?
Do it.
Once you get older, right? No matter what, especially when you're over 30, like it ain't even a question about the luggage or the baggage that you bring into a relationship. It's just about how much of it that you bring in. You feel what I'm saying? So people are always going to bring the bullshit with them or whatever from their past is going to come with them and everything. But when she then later kind of talked more about like the 35 bodies and majority of them being one night stands. For me now, I'm kind of questioning like the character piece a little bit of like, damn, like, so like you just hitting it, quitting it, and then like you're okay to like say like you caught like an STD from it and everything. So now I'm just questioning just kind of like just you as a person now, like for you to just be so careless in situations and what has put you in that position to just be so like free. Like I'm okay with people being free, living their life, doing their thing. But I think for somebody to get in a committed relationship, I think it's okay for them to question that. You know what I'm saying? Even though obviously body counts don't matter, because you've grown, like you've done what you've done. But to hear that type of story with the detail behind it, though, I think it's okay to question her and be a little curious about, why and like, how that type of stuff, happened and went down. Like, what was you thinking? Like, what gave you the impression to, be in that type of, mindset? And I get people go through stuff and everything, but it's hard to overcome, bro.
35, bro. 35 was just a little too high, man. Just to sound a little too wild. I mean, let me be devil's advocate. So we don't have a woman on here right now. So let me kind of be an advocate for the other side, so to speak, bro. Why is there such a double standard? Because let's be real. Let's be real. We know a lot of brothers, friends, associates, whatever. Men got way more than 35 bodies, and they get a high five for it. You know what I'm saying? You got with so and so one night. How was she, bro? Was it good? Oh, what? She got the fat. Oh, and it's cool when the dudes do it. But as soon as the woman say, yeah, I had 35 bodies, I had a one night stand. We was turned up, was lit, was in the session, turned up. I was feeling good. Dude looked good. He was talking to me. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, so I laid down with him. We had a fun night, and I moved on. Men say that perfectly fine. Woman says that, it's the character, or is she going, or is she this or that, or she not, you can't bring her home to mom, you can't do this, that, and the third. Why is that? Why do we put such a completely different standard on the woman than we do on the man? We almost set it up to where men, we can do whatever we want to do, bro, when it comes to that side of the thing. And we will never get, like, there's no number you could say that a man will be like it's a bad thing. You could say 70. It's like, damn, yeah, 70? Damn, all right, my boy, damn, 70.
Yeah.
A woman can say 15. We're like, hold on, whoa, you starting to get a little,
facts.
Whoa.
Facts.
It's like, we want women to just kind of be right just like this and don't do nothing. Have one body, three bodies max, and don't have no, it's like, damn, at some point, I think we do got to be realistic, especially when you get older. Like, if I was dating right now in my 30s or whatever, I can't expect this chick I'm talking to have 2-3 bodies. You know what I'm saying? We in LA too, especially out here. Like, it's life. Like, people out here doing stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's I just think it's just a double standard. I think it'll be like that for a while. I think women, shout out to the women out there. Women have been a little bit more vocal about, being independent and, living the life how they want to and not being held to a standard that somebody else is trying to hold them to and, doing whatever they want to do. So I think that's still good. But obviously you just get guys that's going to question it regardless. You know what I'm saying? Just because, we always talk about that conversation about like, the guys just hitting it and just moving on, but fellas, there's a lot of women who do the same thing, who just kind of hit it and move on too. Like they want to get some just like we want to get some, but old head told me back in the day though, and I think this is just still that old school mentality that people ride with, is like, once you have multiple keys that can go into a lock, then it's not the master lock anymore. So they kind of put that in the same, in the same equation when we talking about a woman, right? A woman's, gold downstairs is something precious. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. It's the best drug that anybody can ever have. You know what I'm saying? But, once you get 25 keys all in that same lock, meaning that anybody can get it at any time, then it doesn't become the golden lock anymore. It doesn't become the precious gold that, it once was. So that's just, obviously that's just how men
That's
think.
A bar right there. You jumping, bro. You jumping bar.
I'm not being that guy. Like, I think women, you can do whatever you want to, but I'm just thinking on the masses of sometimes how a lot of men think in certain situations. That's how it is. But
if women got gold,
don't care.
If women got gold, what do men got? Is our shit like, well, our shit must be fucking aluminum foil, because we don't give a fuck. It must be
it just look, it come and go. It just come and go. You know what I'm saying? Women got the sweet juices, man. They deliver life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They got God's good juices. Like,
but hold on, no. They deliver life, but we give them life.
We implant the life, you know what I'm saying? But what a woman has, man, is just Mother Earth, bro. It comes from the earth, bro.
It is different, dog.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, hey, my women out there that's listening to the podcast, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, hey, it don't matter to me. I don't care, but I'm just saying, like, guys will question it. I mean, I think that's just the pride in us, y'all. That's just the pride in us. We want to know what was going on. Some guys don't care. Some guys do care, and they look at it like the master lock.
Should a woman be able to question a man's body count?
I think some women do. I think some women
do. Is that fair?
But let me tell you this though. This is going to be crazy, because I hate when we get in this type of conversation when we don't have a woman on. I've talked to a few women who are almost looking at somebody sideways when they don't have a lot of bodies, because it's like, damn, can you really have sex? Like, can you do this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, can you keep up type shit? So they question into somebody's experience based upon how many bodies they do have, right? So you do have certain women who are like, okay, he know what he's doing. He's had a few bodies. And then you got a couple women like, damn, it's like that. You're doing too much. So
But there's also, because I hear that too. But is experience meaning I gotta fuck 100 different women, or I could fuck 1,000 times with the one woman I'm with, or two women, or whatever. Like experience is experience. Why you gotta fuck so many different types of styles to get experience?
That's a fact. I mean, obviously experience is experience, but obviously when you do it with different people, it comes with maybe different situations, different moves. Maybe the people that you are getting getting it in with got different skill sets.
Headlock, leg this way.
People. It's just like you going to different classes and shit, right? Like you got math, you got science, you got social studies, you got English. Like I don't want to just learn math, all the while. I want to have the 5-course curriculum. You get the 5-course curriculum, then you're gonna be a bad individual. You feel what I'm saying? So
well versed.
You know what I'm saying?
Versatile.
So, I mean, damn, but check this out. On the guys' end, though, y'all, if we figure out a woman is well versed, then we kind of feel like we need to be more abrasive. Like, damn, like she didn't have sex with a lot of niggas. I know niggas is probably getting it in. I need to bring my A game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now niggas is kind of nervous a little bit, thinking like, damn, she didn't had all these courses, right? She didn't been in all these different classes with these different folks. Like, damn, maybe she ain't, maybe she ain't about to be fucking with what I'm about to do.
You like my bullshit can't work tonight because she didn't heard it all, seen it all, been through it all.
It all, boom. You know what I'm saying? So a man's pride is thinking through all that at that point.
Damn, you getting deep. My boy said social studies, math,
Come on.
In the great words of Holly Cotton, man, you gotta suck the pinky toe. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta experience the pinky toe before you can really know. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, man.
That's real, man. Hilarious. I love that, man. But hey, all the women who's tuning in, if you're watching this clip on Instagram, because it will get posted, comment below, let us know what your opinion is, because we don't have a lady on here to really fight for y'all side. So we want to hear y'all side 1,000%. But before we close out, man, there's another topic that you had brought up pre-show that I think is very interesting about what age truly establishes you as an adult, man. Can you kind of introduce kind of where that thought came from real quick? I don't know if you saw a clip or a video or what it was, but just introduce that kind of where that thought came from.
Yes, I was looking on a line, right? I see the professor, Peter Jones, he's from Cambridge University. He emphasized that the shift from childhood to adulthood occurs over 3 decades. So obviously he's challenging the notion of a clear-cut age marker of adulthood. So his research showed that people don't become adults until they hit the age of 30. So my question is, when do you think you officially become an adult? Because we've already been kind of predetermined that once you hit 21, you become an adult. But obviously some people experience life differently where they do things before 21 and they're put in situations to become an adult. We also know that people who haven't really hit that curve yet of adulthood, even though they're 21, they're not there yet. So they still have to kind of hit a specific peak before they actually enter the real adulthood. So like what type of things that put us in the element of like, okay, I've officially hit adulthood?
Yeah, that's a hell of a question, man. We could do a whole show on this. For me, if I had to throw an actual number and the actual age out there, the number that keeps coming to my mind is 25. I think like 25, like you're typically traditionally done with like all levels of school. Obviously college, you can go back to college whenever. So I'm saying traditionally, if you go through the regular, high school, directly to college, 4 years and you're done with college. And then you also have about 3-4 years of real world working experience at that point. So it's like, I don't think 21 you're really grown, because like you just became a legal age in America to drink and do everything without a guardian, be by yourself. And at 21, I'm thinking about all the 21-year-olds that I know, or when I was 21, it's really just like, you're still at a very immature state mentally. You're not really thinking about long-term plans as much. Typically at 21, you're just trying to go turn up and like legally drink now and take 21 shots. You're still at a very immature state. And a lot of 21-year-olds still, staying at home with their parents, stuff like that, like straight out of college, or if they didn't go to college, they've probably been home the whole time. You just haven't really fully established yourself as an adult. You probably don't even have a credit score yet. So 25 to me is at a point where like, at this point, you should have been working at bare minimum for the last like 4 years, I would say bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? It depends on your situation. So now you got real world experience. You've done some taxes at this point. You saved up some bread. you should be at a point now where you can be able to afford your own place, or you may already be living by yourself, depending on what your situation is. So I think 25, the point was like, all right, I'm grown. You're still young as hell. You're still going to make some immature decisions, but you're at a point where you have a little bit more better discernment and you understand how the real world works.
I agree. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I agree with the professor and with this one just a little bit. Just because I'm now in my early 30s, y'all, which is crazy to think. Okay.
Oh, hell.
So obviously you think about your 20s, right? I think 20s are for a lot of development. It's for a lot of learning. There's a lot of room for error in your 20s as well. Obviously, like you mentioned, like you're hitting a lot of milestones in your lifestyle at 20, where like you're being introduced to things like maybe the housing, maybe marriage, maybe, cars, bills, maybe a family. Like you're getting hit with all of these different things in your 20s potentially, and you're managing and you're trying to figure out what's what, taxes, kind of all that crazy stuff, right? But I think once you hit 30, I think it's really the mindset of being able to execute on life at that point, where like now you have to adult now, like, now the room for error is starting to kind of close in, because you think, oh my God, in the next few years, I'll be 40. You know what I'm saying? So like the 30s are like our 20s, you build, 30s, you kind of build a little bit more too, but your 30s are just for like executing the plan that you put in place in your 20s to make sure that you can really maximize kind of your good years. You know what I'm saying? So obviously I know a lot of people adult in their 20s, but I think life is pretty much like being executed like within like the 30s there. And it's so wild just because it's like I've accomplished a lot of things in my 20s, but a lot of those accomplishments, obviously being married, having a car, having a family, having a job, having all those things. Now it's about the next step. Like, how can I continue to grow? How can I continue to expand what I'm doing to be able to set myself up for the latter years, if that makes sense. So I think mentally it puts more of a strain on you in your 30s, because the time is like now where you got to move, as opposed to in your 20s. It's like, I'm kind of a little bit relieved because I know I got time, but now you're a little bit more hyperactive because you got to move a little bit more in your 30s. So I do think, obviously you do adult in your 20s, but like being able to like, being like, adulthood, like, man, am I kicking it tonight? Nah, probably not. Like, just your taste for a lot of different things start to change. With just hitting a new decade. So
that's real, man. And obviously, I'm not 30 yet. I'll be there in a few months, but I'm not rushing it. So I'm still in my 20s. So I guess I'm still a baby, still a kid at this point. I've been kind of, I'm not nervous to hit 30. It just sounds weird. Like, damn, 30.
Come on. It sounds like, crazy.
It just feels weird. It's like, damn, like my mama had me when she was 27. So like, I might be 30. It just like, and the last decade went so damn fast. It's like, I feel like I just left Ball State, but I've been gone now for 7 years? Going on 8 years. I'm like, damn, like it's almost time to have my 10-year college reunion. Like it just sounds crazy to me. When I look back and think about it, and you make a good point. I think, 30s is kind of the point where it's like, all right, the 20s, I threw up the alley-oop. The 30s, I got to slam dunk it. And I think the next phase, really, I think that might be the hardest time, honestly. Not hard as like in a negative sense, but just like it takes more mental like capacity to really execute. The 20s, a lot of stuff is like your first time experience. It's like, oh, I bought a car. It's like, all right, it wasn't really hard to buy a car. I just had to do it. I had to figure out how to do it. It wasn't hard to get my first apartment. I just had to do it. It wasn't hard to get my first job. It was the first thing. So you accomplish a lot in your 20s. It's almost like being a baby when like a baby learns how to crawl and walk and say their first word. Exactly. Like in year one, they say a baby learned down there more in that time span than like any other time span in their life, because there's so much shit that they have to learn. They're just a basic level. But now the next step of actually learning how to like execute, like you said, is going to be critical, because what you don't do in your 30s, the results of that will happen when you're 40s and your 50s. Your lifestyle when you're an old man and you don't feel like moving around will be impacted by the decisions you make today. Do I got an amen? I'm telling you right now, when you're 30 years old, when you're 32 years old, when you're 35 years old, Bolo, if you don't execute on the plan, you will not land. You heard what I said? Because somebody say plan in the back.
Plan in the back.
Somebody say execution.
Execution.
Execution leads to success. Success leads to joy. Joy leads you to the promised land. And that's what I got for you, bro. I appreciate
Being
that.
great today sets up for a better tomorrow.
Woo! Talk to me, Coach Bolo. That's Coach Bands.
I'm just trying to tell y'all, man. So it's very important for us too. And one thing I'll say before I transition as well about being in your 30s. And I'm only 31, so like when I hit 30, it was like, okay, life is here. Like I need to continue to move. I need to continue to execute on things I did in my 20s and continue to set this plan and execute on this plan. But what a lot of people don't talk about is like the stress that comes with things too, and how you manage stress mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, relationships. Like a lot of those things play a big part too, because at the end of the day, especially when you're trying to do a lot of things and you're trying to accomplish a lot of things, you're also going to pour into a lot of different pots in a lot of different areas. And then with those different pots come with different stressors. So at the end of the day, you got to manage your different stressors with your different identities that you're carrying as well. But then also you have to manage the same thought process of taking care of yourself, like Holly used to talk about, like she talked about with us last week. Like it's very important to do that. So in your 30s, you really got to take care of your mental. Just because all this stuff that's going on, you're trying to set up things for your 40s, you're trying to be financially responsible, you're trying to just do all these things, especially when you got kids too. Like it throws a whole nother wrench into the equation. So with all of that, you still got to be mentally locked in. You feel me?
I do got one quick follow-up question, but before we move on, do you think having kids forces you to be an adult quicker?
Yes and no. Just because you got a lot of people who don't really take responsibility in actually raising their kid, trying to make sure that they're being the best them so they can actually show their kids what a good parent may look like. So you don't have a lot of people who do that. But I do say for the people who do, you know, obviously take the role of being great parents or a great mother or a great father, I think it does force you to grow up in certain situations and hold yourself accountable. And take on something that's bigger than yourself, because these kids, then nobody like they didn't ask to be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So these kids are literally waking up, you know, from eating to being bathed, to being clothed, from watching TV, from all activities are literally falling on the parents. So everything that they do, how they move, how they groove, how their energy, how you set the day and everything, how they continue to grow up to be the best them is created by the parents. So we got to just make sure that we're always just our best selves, so we can just put our kids in the best situation possible so that they can produce the best individuals that they can be as well. And that's how that generational kind of thing works. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about the stair steps. You feel me? So
I like that, man. I need to get on the stair steps and stair master.
Who you telling, bro?
Well, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. But hey, man, that's all I got for you today, Bolo, man. It's been a long ass week, long ass day. I've been grinding. I got more to do the rest of the week. I know you got more to do. You got a big time game coming up. Last game of the season.
Last game of the season, man. We gonna finish out. Obviously, for the people who don't know about Indiana, man, everybody makes the playoffs, so it's like starting at ground zero. And everybody's starting on the same level. So, you know, we everybody got to get to it, man. So, yeah, man, we're going to finish up the season and prepare for the playoffs, bro, and get it cracking, bro.
Yes, sir, man. I love it, man. Well, good luck on this Friday, man. And for all our Porch listeners, man, we appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Another great episode brought to you. Shout out to betonline.com, man. Go to the website, do your thing, place your bets, and when you win, send the Porch some money. And Bolo, man, how do we end every show, my brother?
Hey, y'all, when y'all moving, grooving, doing what y'all doing, man, it's all about the raw simplicity of you. And when you're looking in the mirror, just make sure that the best you
is the best you. And we out. Peace.
Started on the porch, that was where it all began. Had to put in work, every day we got it in. We chased all our dreams and now they can't believe it. We make it look easy, we achieving everything we needed. Now we undefeated. If we link, no, it's only business. If we get to speak and leave them speechless. I did things for free, but now it costs to see me. When you see me, you ain't gotta greet me. Just don't plot to sneak me. I'ma see it, I'ma stop and watch you lose and get defeated. What do we bleed? Came from the jungle, we humble but hungry and hunting to feed. People People don't want us to leave. They love us and rush to the bus when we run in the streets, thinking we stunning the sea. We came from nothing to something, now up in the lead. Now we ain't coming in peace, hunting for blood and to crush everyone in the league. We got a reason, we put in work every day of the week, every month, every season. So many schemes, had to go hard for the team. We gave our all and succeeded, came from the deep end. Warming up pots, cooking ramen, at times that was all we was eating. Now we be feasting, 5-star restaurants every week. Whole team dripped in cloth and it's seamless. They looking hard when we step on the scene. Call us outcasts, we so fresh and so clean. Ain't about cash, please don't ask for a meeting. Just hit the stoop out the spaz on the beat. Nah, it ain't rude if you ask for the feet. Just play it cool when I tax you the fee. We need a pool in the back with a cord and a board that gon' jump off and splash for the heat. Live for the day, cause the past can determine the future or where you gon' actually be. Keep staying present, our presence a blessing. It's all that we have and we actually need. I'm taking action with passion, detaching the ones who keep acting attached to leech. I am no pastor but actually preaching. Look up these lyrics and actually read. That was where it all began. Had to put in work, every day we got it in. We chased all our dreams and now they can't believe it. We make it look easy, we achieving everything we needed. Now we undefeated. If we link, no it's only business. If we get to speak and leave them speechless. I did things for free but now it